Thank you all again for inviting this Garib and Nachis. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for joining us again this afternoon or at night in London. May Mola be with us. Let me give a brief intro to what we are talking and we will be talking today. All of you remember in our previous session last week, we were on our chapter 11 of the parables and allegories, unveiling the Batini, Taʻwīlāt of various parables of the wise Quran. On this journey, we were at the parable number 12, which was Sirat Al Mustaqim. And we had started on this path. Here we had left with a question. And the question was for you to ponder on. Sirat Al Mustaqim, straight path, is it a principle or is it a parable or is it a command? That was the question that we left you with. Sirat Al Mustaqim, a core principle of the tariqah, or is it a parable, example, or is it a command, amar, farman, hukam? That was the question that we had left you with. And at the end, we talked about that regardless of willingly or unwillingly, happily or unhappily, knowingly or unknowingly, everyone shall return back to his origin. It is up to one to take a Sirat Al Mustaqim, a short, straight, easy path, or one can choose to take the long, harder, and unknown path. But those who are sabiqun, those who like to lead, and those who like to hurry, and those who are people of the logic and intellect, their logic and intellect will tell them to take the easiest, shortest, and the straight path. But free will is yours and yours only. No one can tell you what to do. That is up to you absolutely. So that brings us into the part 2 of the Sirat Al Mustaqim today. Remember that question. And we will start with that question today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Maulay Mehraban, Madad Farma, Madad Farma. Ya Maulay Mehraban, Madad Farma. Ya Maulay Mehraban, Madad Farma, Madad Farma. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Madad Farma. Ya Maulay Mehraban, Tawfiq, Taid, Himmat wa Yari Maula. तौफीक ताहीद हिम्मत व यारी मौला या मौला अपने नूर की रोशनी में अपने नूर की मदद से हमें सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर आगे से आगे बढ़ा मौला या मौला इस सीधे और सच्चे रास्ते पर हमें उन लोगों के पीछे जिन पर तेरा इनाम हुआ, जिनसे तू खुश हो गया मौला, हमें उनके पीछे पीछे चला मौला। या मौला मेहरबान, अगर यही रास्ता तेरा रास्ता है तो हम इसी रास्ते पर एकदम से, जल्दी से, आसानी से तेरे नूर के करीब आना चाहते हैं मौला, तेरे करीब आना चाहते हैं मौला। या मौला मेहरबान, हमें मदद फरमा इस रास्ते पर, हमें हिदायत फरमा इस रास्ते पर, और इस रास्ते पर हमें आगे से आगे बढ़ा मौला। आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। We will start inshallah, and remember those 3 questions. Whenever we talked about Sirat Al Mustaqim, if there is a straight path, if there is a shortcut, then the question is, where is this shortcut? How do I find it? And who can guide us on this shortcut? As you can see, the ayat is Haydina Sirat Al Mustaqim. Guide us on the straight path. Not just leave us there. Don't just show us, but guide us. What's the different? Someone can tell you that that is the place and you go. Have fun. Good luck. We are not saying that. What we are saying, Ya Mullah, the straight path that you have shown us, on that path, guide us. Guide us. On the straight path, or the path, or highway, or the road, what do you call those people who are sitting on the side of the road? If I may ask you that question, what do you call those people who are sitting on the side of the road? I can think of 3 possible answers. जब हम कहते हैं हैज़िना सिरात अल मुस्तकीम, तो हम ये कह रहे हैं कि या मौला, तूने हमें जो रास्ता दिखाया है, अब उस रास्ते पर हमारा हाथ पकड़, हमारी उंगली पकड़ और हमें हिदायत फरमा। खाली रास्ता दिखाकर छोड़ के ना चला जा हमको। याद करें, जब हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने उस जमाने के अंदर तमाम मुसलमानों को एक रास्ता बताया, और इस्लाम का वो सीधा रास्ता जिसको आइडेंटिफाई किया, जिसकी तरफ इशारा किया, तो क्या उन्होंने हमें वो रास्ता बताकर फिर चले गए? अगर वो चले गए तो हमारी ये हदीस, ये दुआ के अंदर, ये सूरे के अंदर ये बात नहीं आनी चाहिए थी कि हैज़िना सिरात अल मुस्तकीम. So when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us the true path, the path of Islam, the straight and short path toward back to the Allah. If his job was to show us that path, along with that, he has given us this dua, and that is Hazdin Sirat Al Mustaqim. He did not show us the path and left. He showed us the path and also showed us, appointed, selected, chosen a guide for us. Not a guide for one time, for a short period, guide for all the time, all the ages, and all the time. And he taught us to keep praying, keep saying, no namaz, no dua. Nothing can start without Surah Al-Hamd. That is one of the compulsory surah of every dua. And what is that dua? Guide us on the Sirat Al Mustaqim. Then the question is, who is that guide? Where is that guide? Did Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed us the path and not left us the guide? Did Allah promise that there will be a guide for every nation, every people of every time? Did he break his promise? So remember those three questions? That answer first of your question. Is there a principle? Yes. That is the core principle of Islam. Sirat Al Mustaqim is the core principle of Islam. And one only can be on Sirat Al Mustaqim if there is a guide on that path. All the time, in every age. Allah guides to his Noor whom he pleases. If you wish, that will make Allah very happy. It will please Allah if you would be guided on that path. But the free will is yours. Choice is yours. The one who says, Hadina Sirat Al Mustaqim, then you are showing your wish. You are confirming your wish. You are asking Allah to show us and guide us by the guide of the time on the Sirat Al Mustaqim. To those, I'm challenging you, to those who says we do not need Imam, then my question, my challenge to you is, why are you saying Hadin Sirat Al Mustaqim? Why? Because in one hand you are saying, Ya Allah, give me a guide who can guide me on Sirat Al Mustaqim. And then you are saying, I don't need a guide. That makes no sense. That makes no logical sense. That is not something a person of intellect would do. So make up your mind. Do you want it to be guided on Sirat Al Mustaqim? If you are asking that 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day, that guide me on this path, then why are you sitting on this path? That brings us to our second question. Is there a parable? If you look at it closely, Sirat Al Mustaqim is the way of Islam. Sirat Al Mustaqim is the example of Islam. Sirat Al Mustaqim is the way of the Imam. Sirat Al Mustaqim is the example of the Imam. Sirat Al Mustaqim is the way on which he guides us. Then Sirat Al Mustaqim is the example of the path of Allah. Now that leads us to the third question. Is there a command? Is there a farman? Is there an amr? Or do we have a choice, a free will? Allah, in the language of the Mu'mineen, as Allah for himself talks about that he is the Al-Mu'mineen, Al-Mu'mineen, the, not a, but the Mu'min. And Ali Murtaza is Amirul Mu'mineen, the leader of those Mu'mineen. How can you be Mu'min without a leader? How can you be on Sirat Al Mustaqim without a guide? How will you be guided on Sirat Al Mustaqim if you don't follow the Amr, the command, the farman of the guide? This morning in one of the session, this came to my mind in one of the farman. Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah Alayhi, may our soul be that to that Imam, says, if a guide on the journey, on a path, tells you to remove your hat while you are walking on this path, then you should remove your hat and walk on the path, because guide knows what to do and what not to do. In that farman, in that example, shows us that Imam knows which path is the better path for us today. What is the shortcut for us today? Another example comes to mind. Imam says that today you recite 3 times dua, short path, Sirat Al Mustaqim for us. Don't argue, I'm going to recite 5 times namaz. He's the guide. You should follow him. Today, you must observe the roza of 365 days for the purpose of purity, elevation of your soul. Don't argue with your guide. No, I'm going to observe 30 days roza of Ramzan. Come to Jamaat Khana and there is your Hajj. Don't argue with him. I'm going to take trouble and go to Makkah and do a physical Hajj instead of a Batini Hajj, as our tariqah is the tariqah of Batin. If you do not wish to be guided on the Sirat Al Mustaqim, then you better leave this part of the dua, Haydina Sirat Al Mustaqim, because you are asking to be guided and He's guiding you. Why are we asking if we wish not to listen? If we wish not to follow? But then every day we raise our hand and say, Hadina Sirat Al Mustaqim. And He is commanding us on this Sirat Al Mustaqim, guiding us on Sirat Al Mustaqim. Now, my second question was, if you see someone sitting on the side of the road on Sirat Al Mustaqim, what are the three possible scenarios, thoughts, images will come to your mind? थोड़ा यहाँ पर उर्दू में मैं भूल गया, आपको बताता चलूं कि जब हम कहते हैं कि हदीना सिरात अल मुस्तकीम, तो हमने अस खुद अपनी मर्जी से दुआ की और कहा, या मौला तू हमें सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर गाइड कर, हिदायत फरमा। अगर हमें इमाम की हिदायत नहीं माननी है, उसका फरमान नहीं मानना है, उसकी हिदायत पर नहीं चलना है, तो फिर बेहतर होगा कि हम इस दुआ को ही छोड़ दें। आप एक तरफ से कहते हैं मुझे इस रास्ते पर हिदायत कर, और जब इमाम फरमान फरमाता है तो हम कहते हैं हमें इस पर नहीं चलना है, हमें तो लंबा रास्ता अच्छा लगता है, छोटा आसान रास्ता अच्छा नहीं लगता है। हमें अपना माइंड मेकअप करने की जरूरत है, हमें अपना इरादा मजबूत करने की जरूरत है, हमें देखना है कि हमें क्या करना है। अगर हम चाहते हैं तो कहें हदीना सिरात अल मुस्तकीम, अगर हमें उसके फरमान को नहीं मानना है तो फिर क्यों हम उसको बादर करते हैं और कहते हैं हदीना सिरात अल मुस्तकीम। जब हम सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर लोगों को बैठा हुआ पाते हैं तो क्या तस्वुर हमारे दिमाग में चलता है? तीन मुमकिनात है। There are three possible scenarios when you see someone sitting on Sirat Al Mustaqim. Number one, they are tired and they do not want to walk on Sirat Al Mustaqim anymore. They are just sitting on Sirat Al Mustaqim because they don't want to move or walk or move ahead on Sirat Al Mustaqim. In other words, they have taken the exit. Number two, they taken the exit and then they forgot how to get back on the path. Or third, they are just resting and then they will come back on the path. Three possible scenarios. एक जो कहता है अब मैं थक गया हूं, सिरात अल मुस्तकीम में मुझे नहीं चलना है, बस जहां तक मैं पहुंच गया वहां तक पहुंच गया, अब मुझे आगे नहीं चलना है। दूसरा, वो थोड़ी देर के लिए रास्ते से उतरा था, अब रास्ता भूल गया, अब उसे ये रास्ता नहीं मिल रहा है। और तीसरा, वो सिर्फ पानी पीने के लिए एक सेकंड के लिए उस रास्ते पर खड़ा हुआ था, उतर नहीं गया था, खाली एक सेकंड के लिए वो रास्ते पर खड़ा हुआ, थोड़ा आराम करने के लिए, पानी पीने के लिए, सीखने के लिए, कुछ सीखने के लिए, कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन लेने के लिए वो सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर उसके पर खड़ा था, उतर नहीं गया था, हट नहीं गया था। Those are the example of three kind of people who are on Sirat Al Mustaqim. Let me share this again. The people who are walking on the Shariat, the path, they have taken the exit by saying, this is good enough for me. I do not want to move forward. If you are on the Shariat, your example is the example of the first kind. Then there are second, who have taken the exit, but then lost their way. And they do not know how to get back to the Sirat Al Mustaqim. Your example is that you wanted to see something, you wanted to learn something, but you were guided incorrectly, and now you have lost your way. Then there are third kind, who did not get off from the Sirat Al Mustaqim. They just stopped to look at the map, to listen to the guide, to take some water. Water is the example of ilm. And then from Hakikat, they jumped back on the path of Marifat toward the Nur of the Imam, toward the Dar al Salam, to the destination. They got back on this. If you would look at, and I don't know if you were paying any attention, if you look at this Sirat Al Mustaqim, you will see there are tracks on Sirat Al Mustaqim. I hope you can see my screen and you can see the tracks on Sirat Al Mustaqim. Those are the tracks. So all of those who are walking on Sirat Al Mustaqim, they can walk slowly, medium, or fast. And those are the tracks. How slow or how fast would you like to walk on Sirat Al Mustaqim to get to your destination? As long as you are on Sirat Al Mustaqim, you are on the short path and guaranteed to reach the home soon, faster, easier. Now, let's look at some of the question and some of the references. Guide and the path must go together. You have to have a guide to be guided on the path. You cannot take the path without the guide. Or you cannot say, I am with the Imam, the guide, but I will not follow him. I will not listen to his farman. I will not do what he's asking me to do. It does not work like that. My brother, my sister, my friends, if you feel that you are on Sirat Al Mustaqim and you feel that you are with the Imam, the guide, again, you have a decision to make. You cannot be on the path, short path, without the Sirat Al Mustaqim, without the guide, the Imam. And you cannot say, I have the Imam and the guide, but then when he gives you the guidance, I will not follow. Then what is the use? What is the purpose? Path without the guide, what would happen? You will get lost. Who are those who are guided on the path. Those who have accepted and have hang on to the guide. रास्ता और हादी साथ साथ में है. आप नहीं कह सकते हैं कि मैं रास्ते पर हूं लेकिन इमाम की जरूरत नहीं है, इमाम का फरमान को मैं नहीं मानूंगा, रास्ते पर तो हूं मैं. और ये भी नहीं कह सकते हैं कि मैं इमाम के फरमान को सुनता हूं लेकिन उसके पीछे पीछे चलूंगा नहीं. तो फिर क्या फायदा? अगर आपको रास्ते पर चलना है तो हादी को सुनना पड़ेगा, और जब हादी फरमान फरमाए तो उस पर अमल करना पड़ेगा, चलना पड़ेगा, उसके हुक्म पर आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा, वरना क्या फायदा? अगर कोई रास्ते पर है और हादी नहीं है तो क्या होगा? वो रास्ता भटक जाएगा, भूल जाएगा. और कौन है जिसको इस रास्ते पर हिदायत मिलती है? ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने इमाम के दामन को पकड़ रखा है, उसको इस रास्ते पर हिदायत मिलती है. आपने देखा इस रेफरेंस के अंदर दुआ से कि हमें उस रास्ते पे चला जिस पर तेरा इनाम है, जिस रास्ते पर तू खुश होता है और जिस रास्ते पर तेरे इनामात हैं, उस रास्ते पर हमको चला. उनके पीछे नहीं चलाना कि जो भटक चुके हैं, जिससे तू नाराज हो गया है, जो तेरे फरमान को नहीं मानते हैं. यहां से हमें पता चला हमेशा ऐसे लोगों की दोस्ती करनी चाहिए कि जो इमाम के फरमान बरदार मोमिन हो. अच्छे लोगों की दोस्ती करें, जिससे इमाम खुश है उसकी दोस्ती करें. ऐसे लोगों की दोस्ती ना करें कि जो इमाम से दूर है, जो इमाम के फरमान को नहीं मानते हैं, जो इमाम के पीछे पीछे नहीं चलते हैं. ऐसे लोगों की दोस्ती ना करें. ऐसे लोगों की दोस्ती करें जो इमाम की नजर में अच्छे हैं, आपकी नजर में नहीं, इमाम की नजर में अच्छे हैं. उसके साथ रहें, क्योंकि वो सिरात अल मुस्तकीम है पर चलते हैं और वो आपको भी उस पर चलने की तोजी देंगे. Stay with those who are on Sirat Al Mustaqim, as they are the one who Imam is pleased with. They are the one who are truly guided because they are on Sirat Al Mustaqim, and if you are friend with them, they will also encourage you to stay on Sirat Al Mustaqim. But if you have a friends who are not on Sirat Al Mustaqim, eventually they will take you away from this Sirat Al Mustaqim and then you will be lost. Let's look at some of the Quranic references, and then I will share these references with you so you can read on your own. Then if you have any question, you can ask. Number one reference. Now the question is, which path is the straight path? Surah 3, Ayat 51. Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord. So worship him. This is the straight path. जब हम कहते हैं कि मौला तू ही अली अल्लाह है, तो वो मेरा भी खुदा है और तुम्हारा भी खुदा है, और उसी की इत्तेहाद करनी है, और वो ही सीधा रास्ता है. Second, Surah 51, ayat number 7. by the heaven which is full of the ways. If you remember that diagram I just showed you, अगर आपको इमाम की नजदीकी, इमाम की जन्नत के अंदर दाखिल होना है, तो वहां पर बहुत सारे रास्ते जाते हैं और सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर 3 रास्ते हैं, थोड़ा आस्ते, थोड़ा दरमियान में और थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी. If you are on the right path, you have a 3 choice. You can walk slowly, you can walk medium, or you can walk fast. And all of those Sirat Al Mustaqim, the path, take you to the ultimate Salamati home. The home of the Nur, the home of the Imam, that is the heaven for the Mu'mineen. Next reference, Surah 5, ayahs 15 and 16 combined. There are certainly has come to you. There certainly has come to you from Allah a Nur and a clear book, manifested book, which Allah guides you. Now notice here, definitely, certainly word, certainly come to you 2 things, a Nur and a book. For what purpose? With which Allah guides you. Whom does He guide? Those who seek His pleasure to the way of peace. Peace, salamati. Bring them out of the darkness and into the light, the nur, by His will, and guides them to the Sirat Al Mustaqim. Let me explain in Urdu. I'll come back in English. This does require a little bit more explanation. कि देखो, बेशक खुदा ने तुम्हारी तरफ 2 चीजें भेजी है, नूर इमाम की शक्ल में, किताब कुरान की शक्ल में, और वो दोनों को इसलिए भेजा है ताकि वो तुम्हें हिदायत कर सके किस रास्ते पर और किसको, जो खुदा की खुशनुदी चाहता है और जो सलामती के घर में दाखिल होना चाहता है उसके लिए. और ये दोनों चीजें, नूर और किताब, तुमको जहालत के अंधेरों से निकालकर नूर के साथ, नूर की रोशनी में सिरात अल मुस्तकीम पर हिदायत करती है. आप समझ गए? Certainly, indeed, Allah has sent you 2 things. Imam, the Itrat, the guide, the Nur, and a book, a written guidance. A written guidance. So He may guide you to His path, the straight Sirat Al Mustaqim. We already talked about this path is the path of Allah. This is a straight path. So on that path, He is happy. When you walk on that path, you make Him happy. And that is the path that will take you into salamati. Out of the darkness. Because the light of the Nur is on this path. Believe me, you do not want it to be on other path. May I show you that other path. If you are not paying attention to what I'm showing you, you are missing a lot of things. Today, I showed you one thing, that there are 3 lines, the path, tracks on Sirat Al Mustaqim. Maybe you did not pay attention to that last week. And you do not want it to be on other path, because that's the path of darkness. Did you pay attention? Look at this path. If you have taken this long journey, look at the darkness on this path. Do you see this darkness? There is no light, no nur. There is no light and no nur. If you have taken this path, believe me, you do not want to do that. You do not want to do that. That is the path of ignorancy, of the darkness. And you can see it on my screen. You see, it's not lighted path, because there is no nur on this path. If you are paying attention, then you can see everything that I am showing you. If you are paying attention, you will understand everything has been told, because you are looking at what has been shown to you. Last page on these references. Now, with that understanding, we have 3 more references for you to look up on your own. Let me go through one by one, so you may have a good question at the end. What does Sirat Al Mustaqim, or what does Quran says about Sirat Al Mustaqim? And where is this straight path guide us to? Surah 6, Ayat 126. This is not only the straight path, a shortcut, but this is a perfect straight path. There is no hindrance. There are no bumps. There are no ditches. Imam has made it easier path for you. Surah 6, Ayat 126. This is your Lord's path. ये तुम्हारे खुदावंद का रास्ता है. Perfectly straight. Perfectly straight. We have already made the signs clear to those who are mindful. अगर आप सोचने वाले, अक्ल वाले, लॉजिकल लोग नहीं है, तो ये रास्ता आपके लिए नहीं है. Look at it. I'm not saying this. Read for yourself. This is the path of your Lord, perfectly straight. And He has made this path perfectly straight with the clear signs. For whom? For those who are mindful, people of logic and intellect. If you are not that, then you may take the wrong path. Khuda na khasta, I hope you don't. Be mindful of this. Be a person of intellect and logic, because Imam is showing you this path, which is perfect for you. If you are person of logic and intellect, mindful. Next reference, 78:39. The day is the ultimate truth. On the day of Qiyamah, when you will find that ultimate truth. So let whoever wills, see, it is your free will. So let whoever wills take the path leading back to their Lord. I cannot emphasize on this part. On the day when you will know the ultimate truth. So if you wish, If that's your free will, take the path which is leading you back to your Lord, to your origin, back to the Nur, from where you have come from. You did not come from an animal. You did not come from anywhere, but you come from Him. Take that path back to your Lord, back to your origin. I cannot make more clear to the listener today and tomorrow. Don't be deviated. अभी थोड़ी देर में मैं आपको उर्दू में भी ये तीनों चीजें समझाऊंगा. Just give me a minute. Let me finish the last one. 34:6. Those with knowledge clearly see. For the last 3 years, we've been talking about this. Learn, learn, learn. Ilm, ilm, ilm. Those with knowledge will clearly see. Without the knowledge, you will not know. Those with the knowledge clearly will see that what has been revealed to you from your Lord is the truth. And that it guides to the path of Almighty, the praiseworthy. Subhanallah. Did you see that? जिसके पास इल्म होगा वही इस हिदायत को समझ पाएगा. इल्म के बगैर किस तरह से आपको पता चलेगा कि कौन सा सच्चा रास्ता है, कौन सा सीधा रास्ता है और किस पे चलना है. आपने देखा कि ये 3 जो यहाँ पर रेफरेंसेस दिए गए हैं कि ये वो सीधा रास्ता है जो सबसे बेहतरीन सीधा रास्ता है. किन के लिए? जो सोचते हैं उनके लिए. और जिस दिन आपको ये सच्चाई का इल्म होगा तो आपको पता चलेगा कि यही रास्ता था जो सीधा इमाम के नूर तक जाता था. और किन लोगों को ये पता चलेगा? जिनके पास इल्म होगा. अगर आपने इल्म को सुना होगा, इल्म को लिया होगा, इल्म को सीखा होगा तो आपको ये रास्ता नजर आएगा जो सीधा रास्ता है, जो सीधा रास्ता हमारे असल तक जाता है. So let me stop here. This was the end of our 2-part series of Sirat Al Mustaqim. Inshallah, we will take the next subject in our following sessions. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining and thank you for listening.